biggest single planning mistake of Uttarakhand?
There has not been any planning there. Roads are being expanded, constructed. There is no parking space. There is no movement space. Actually, there is no solution to it.
Now the train are coming to the actual hills.
That is also single track. So with the single track, what will happen is you have no other train, only in stations, they have to wait.
3-4 trains can come.
They will introduce maximum 2 trains. The governments become greedy. Tirupati is not like that. They have streamlined it. You can book your darshan in advance.
What are they doing? Because they are catering lakhs of people.
They move in the crowd. You are constantly on the move.
Now we are planning Ropeway in Mussoorie, Ropeway in Kedarnath.
Ropeway should not create any problem. Each person may have to spend 4 times. They have the government planning department. They are not doing any planning now. It has been mainly outsourced. Greater Noida itself was in a developing stage. It was having problems of growth. When you're having that initial growing problems, why do you think of something which is extension? First of all, you grow properly.
Who is more to blame for urban crisis, politician or the planner?
Politician, of course.
हम अक्सर ऋषिकेश, देहरादून और चार धाम के यात्रियों को देखते हैं कि ट्रैफिक में घंटों फंसे रहते हैं एंड इस प्रॉब्लम का रियल सॉल्यूशन हमें दिखाई नहीं देता है और ना समझ में आता है। तो आज इसी टॉपिक पे बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ हैं प्रोफेसर आर शंकर, जो कि 4 डिकेड से IIT रुड़की में अपनी सर्विसेज देते आ रहे हैं। ही इज एन एकेडमिशियन एंड अर्बन प्लानर। आज हम जानेंगे कि अर्बन प्लानिंग व्हाई इट इज सो इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर हिमालयन सिटीज एंड हिमालयन टाउन्स ऑल्सो। मैं ऑडियंस के रेफरेंस के लिए बताना चाहती हूँ कि आप ग्रेटर नोएडा एक्सटेंशन प्लान कर चुके हैं, गंगोत्री मास्टर प्लान तैयार कर चुके हैं और पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट की जो मेजर प्रॉब्लम है मैं आपसे उस पर बहुत सवाल करने वाली हूँ। अर्बन प्लानिंग की जैसे हम बात करते हैं मेट्रो सिटीज ही ध्यान में आता है। हमारे उत्तराखंड के लिए जो पहाड़ी टेरेन है इसके लिए कैसे इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करता है एंड व्हाट आर द स्कोप ऑफ वर्क ऑफ अर्बन प्लानर?
It's very interesting to see a state like Uttarakhand. We can say 4 hill states of India, Himalayan state. So density wise, it has maximum density. That means the population in comparison with the land area, available area, visible area is very high. Population is very high. If you talk about urban population and what are the problems of this urban population and urbanization and urban planning, urban development, and along with urban concentration, the facilities are also located only in these areas. That is why people want to come and have a place there. Even if they retain a house there in the rural hinterland, they would like to have a place of stay in this area. That is what is happening. But all these things, kind of unplanned urbanization.
Can't we actually do anything now because the traffic lanes are congested and we are making more roads, we are not working on carrying capacity? What are the steps that we need to take now?
No, a lot of things can be regularized. But unfortunately, we have not taken any step towards organizing this growth. In other words, there has not been any planning of these settlements, this region. First of all, this has been happening only in the recent 2-3 decades, 3 decades or 4 decades. When I came here, say 40 years ago, Dehradun was a peaceful small town.
It was known as retirement city.
And it was full of gardens, lychee gardens, and it was surrounded by basmati rice. So Dehradun was known as Doon Valley was known for one is lychee and other was basmati rice. Now you will not find even a small plot of basmati rice field.
Not even lychees anymore.
Lychees are here and there in home gardens. You will find here and there, but not this vast expanse of lychee in orchards that you used to see there. So these have vanished totally, completely in the region.
So what can we actually do now?
Rectification, whether we can repair some of these things, mistakes that has happened. That is very difficult, very difficult. Roads are being expanded, constructed. But at the same time, traffic problems, related problems, a lot of problems are also growing equally. I mean, it's becoming more severe. That is because some of the it has not been happening the way it should have happened.
What is that way?
I mean, for example, from Luxor to Haridwar and from Haridwar to Dehradun, there was a railway line. It has been there.
Yeah.
So right in the early stages, when I came here, I said, why is it only a single line? People even 40 years ago or 80 years ago, people were coming to Haridwar because it's a Kumbh Nagari. And this railway connection was very easy because Luxor is on the main line, trunk line, and there's small connection, and it was only single lane. Because of single lane, the frequency could not be increased. So hardly a few trains, 3 or 4 trains. Instead of 30 or 40 trains between that, it could have changed the situation. Even now, and it took them many Kumbh Melas to understand, okay, the situation could be eased by introducing another line. They introduced, and it happened only in 2021. But whereas I was thinking about it 40 years earlier, in 79, 80, at that time, this should be done, but it didn't happen. Even now, between Haridwar and Dehradun, there is only single line.
Yeah.
Imagine now, it is made 2 line. And then every hour or every half an hour, there is a train. A fast train. Something like Mumbai local. Mumbai local train, like that. All this traffic which is coming there between all that road development, in the meantime, they spent hundreds of crores of rupees in widening the road, making new road, flyover, all those things, it could have totally avoided. The traffic that you are talking about, it is connected to that.
Yeah.
If only you had concentrated, paid attention on this possibility and developed this road instead of road-based traffic, private traffic. In all of that, tens of thousands of crores of rupees have been spent. Our attention has been on a wrong thing, undesirable thing. So we have been doing everything to encourage private travel, not public travel.
True.
And private ownership of vehicles, not mass transit, facilitating and making it more comfortable for people to use mass transit. Since not much of attention was given to that, people were forced to buy and use their own vehicles, private vehicles. They could have simultaneously, the time they had taken to develop these expressways, highways. And that has been happening in the last 20, 25 years. And particularly in the last 15 years, that has been happening.
Now the train are coming to the actual hills. So will it solve the problem? Will it solve the traffic issues?
It will not. You know why? Even that proposed, it's still under construction. It's supposed to have been completed by 2026 this year or so. But it will take 2 more years, maybe more. That is also single track.
Okay.
So with the single track, what will happen is, you have no other train, only on stations, they have to wait and the other train can come. If it is
only
from both
3-4
directions.
trains can come.
Not even train. They will introduce maximum 2 trains. One in the morning, one in the afternoon. From there also, they will cross somewhere. That's not going to solve the problem. Now, why did you develop a railway network? It is because you wanted to have a shift from the road-based traffic to rail-based mass transit. And that is not happening. That will not happen if it's a single lane. Because single lane it will carry in one, then you have to wait number of trains that can leave a station within a day, because no, they have to, the other train also will be there from the destination when it comes back. So that can happen only at intermediate stations. When you are already blasting the mountain, when you are already cutting down the trees, so instead of 5 meters, you make it 8 meters. Because it's only meter gauge you introduce, broad gauge you don't have to introduce. Smaller track, even narrow gauge is there, but make it double track in mountain states. So all mountain states have problems. The governments become greedy because you want to encourage tourists. In the name of tourism development, you want to have more tourists coming to your state.
More monetary benefits.
Yes. Without looking at adequate measures to deal with such traffic. How do you take care of, say, 50,000 vehicles? Or 70,000, 80,000 vehicles. There is no parking space. There is no movement space. So this traffic is, it is not what you call a very homogeneous traffic.
हमने बात करी कि trains are not the actual solution. We are again increasing a lot of tourists going in. We are not focusing on people coming out जितना हमें फोकस करना चाहिए. तो ये जो छोटे शहर हैं जैसे कर्णप्रयाग, देवप्रयाग, श्रीनगर, जहाँ पे घंटों का जाम आज लगता है, उन छोटे शहरों के लिए, छोटे कस्बों के लिए क्या सोल्यूशन हो सकता है?
There is no solution to it.
We'll get very hopeless if you say so.
Why? Because the settlements like Devrayag, for example, are Srinagar. Srinagar is slightly better, but next one is Rudraprayag or Karanprayag. These are all very small. They themselves are kind of, as a settlement, they have grown in a very precarious land area. Slope is there, river is there, and they are perched on a small land, available land. Now that can hold a few houses or buildings, a small bazaar which is developed on a road which is slightly better than a lane. That's it. It has a capacity. It can only take so much, not beyond that. Now you introduce, earlier people were walking. Then there were small buses. I have also traveled by small buses of GMVN in 78, 79, 80, until small buses were there. Now you take huge buses, there. And not just one or two. Now 200, 2,000, 3,000 vehicles. That town does not have a place to park all this,
Parking is also again big problem.
No, where will you know? Because these people, somewhere they get stranded there, they have to stay there. Then you start constructing lodges, hotels, guest houses. They're there. Somewhere they're all accommodated, but their vehicles also have to be accommodated somewhere on the road. So with the result, when you see after they settle down in the evening, they're completely, it's full of vehicles parked on the road, on the bazaar, and any nook that you find small space you find there, you park your vehicle there, and that is the thing. Now, because vehicle ownership in India has been increasing, uncontrolled, kind of unplanned again. And that is government side. I said that the policy itself is wrong. You should really take positive measures to discourage private vehicle ownership. Other countries, wherever they have faced a problem, they have done that. So instead of private ownership, you should concentrate on public transit. Encourage, how do you make people go for public transport? That is only when it is reliable, when it is very efficient, when it is comfortable, you will know that is and it gives you connectivity to wherever you want to go. When through public transport, if you can reach your home, then it's fine. So the main public transit may not be able to do that, but from there the what they call the feeder services have to be there, connected to that. Then you can reach home wherever you want. Another feeder, sub-feeder service will be there.
Sub-feeder services like autos or
That will be there. Streamlined, which is regulated, which is controlled. There has to be. Then you, without any hassle, you can travel by the public transport and then take the feeder service and then take another feeder service and then go home wherever you want. It will be smooth, but that is not happening. You are making roads better, constructing new highways, encouraging people to buy car, giving them loan, everything. But at the same time, you have not thought beyond that.
हमको तो लगता है कि रोड्स बड़ी कर देते हैं, ट्रैफिक सॉल्व हो जाएगा, पार्किंग की बिल्डिंग बना देते हैं तो पार्किंग का प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएगा. क्या रोड ब्रॉड करने से एक्चुअल में कुछ चेंज आता है?
It has nowhere in the world it has happened. Nowhere in the world. All countries have traffic problems, traffic jam, gridlock. They have all the problems there during weekend or during vacation time or whenever there is kind of some holiday time. Even countries which are very very spacious, where you have very low density. India it's a kind of a the density of population is very high. It is relatively speaking in comparison with the US and Australia. So highly dense development is there. And we don't have that much of resources. We don't have 12-lane highways or 8-lane highways. It's being developed. But we can't take it to the last. These highways connect only cities. Not to the inside of the cities, but only take up to the city, and then if you want to reach home from the highway, you have to take other major road and minor road, and then finally up to street. And ultimately, when you reach home, you don't have a parking space.
That's a big major problem in Himalayan towns and cities now. Also, when we talk about carrying capacity, what are the scope of carrying capacity? Is it only the roads? For example, Mussoorie?
Mussoorie has many problems, but mainly road and parking spaces. Road capacity, how many vehicles it can carry, and the space that is available for parking of the vehicles. So how many vehicle parking spaces are available? So that is that. These are two primary things. Other than that, you've got, if 50,000 people reach Mussoorie for a day, what will you do for water? For the waste that is generated. How do you dispose of that? And the sewage problems. That is not accommodation. Okay, accommodation, there could be a problem, but even that is, if it is sorted out, there will be acute pressure on water. Mussoorie, a place like Mussoorie, it doesn't have, it is already on a mountain top, on a ridge. So water has to be pumped up, for that. And waste. So waste and water, these two things are there, apart from space for parking of the vehicles and space for movement, roads. So that is a problem.
What about places like Badrinath, Kedarnath?
They also have the same thing. Badrinath and Kedarnath, they don't have any water problem as such, but there are other problems, food supply, because it doesn't have anything. It has to come from somewhere there to sources. Accommodation is a problem, and the waste generation is a problem in remote areas. How do you dispose of this waste? Where does it go?
जो प्लान ऋषिकेश के लिए वर्क करेगा वो शायद जोशीमठ के लिए वर्क नहीं करेगा. बट फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे हरिद्वार में रोपवे है, मंदिर जाने के लिए बहुत सारे रोपवे हैं, शायद वो उस एरिया को कवर करता है, बहुत सारे टूरिस्ट डेली बेसिस पे आना जाना करते हैं. बट नाउ वी आर प्लानिंग रोपवे इन मसूरी, रोपवे इन केदारनाथ. सो ये एक्चुअल में हेल्प करेंगे और दे आल्सो गोना हैव रिपरकशंस?
इफ ऑल कंडीशंस आर appropriate, conditions are suitable, Ropeway should not create any problem. But it has a limited capacity.
Both Mussoorie and Kedarnath?
For any because the number of passengers or number of people you can transport through Ropeway in an hour is limited. It's a limited number of cars that can pass, each car number of passengers that it can hold, and at the end of it, in a year, in 1 hour, say 10 cars will pass or 20 cars will come, and each car 6. So 20 into 6, 120 or 200 or 300 people. So in an hour, only 300 people can come, or 400 people, depending on different car size, capacity, and what is the frequency. So that is a limited capacity. But the cost will be proportional in comparison with other mode of transport. It will be very high. Ultimately, each person may have to spend maybe 4 times the money that he spends and if he chooses road transport, like that. If by his own car, if 1,000 rupees is spent on here, maybe 3,000, 4,000 rupees. That
but
kind of,
is it a good alternate solution?
Yeah, there are certain advantages because it's a kind of a conveyor belt, So you don't, it need not tamper with the mountain slope unnecessarily. It can also choose. It can be supported on pylons, pillars, this towers. The cost will be much more, and it will be slower people, and people will have to spend more by that. It will take more time. It will be slower mode of transport.
But also a lot of environment activists, they are actually raising their voices, and there is a lot of noise in the social media that Ropeway is it's harmful to the ecology and it's not suitable to the terrain. What are your views on that?
I don't think so. Ecology, only way it can, bird movement, it can interfere the towers, Ropeway moving that, but then they get adjusted to that. It is not going to. I don't think there will be any, because we are talking about plant life and animal life. As I said, it only requires only a fraction of the forest area. Only that much area will be affected.
I think there are more positives to it disadvantages. Yeah. A lot of planning is happening afterwards as we are talking, and I got to know from your point of view. Why do we not prepare beforehand? Because ab train bhi aane wali hai, there will be Ropeway, there might be more people next year or coming years. जब हम कोई भी सिटी प्लान करते हैं, कोई टाउन प्लान करते हैं या कोई इस तरह की योजना प्लान करते हैं जैसे ट्रेन का आना, क्या हम फ्यूचर पर्सपेक्टिव को सोच के प्लान करते हैं? बिकॉज यू हैव बीन इन गवर्नमेंट बॉडीज एज वेल.
Planning is always for future. Originally, the plan period was 20 years. So, how should it be after 20 years? So, you visualize that, you project that to that 20-year later period, and then plan accordingly. So, it's actually, So it is actually preparing yourself for a future state. So 20 years hence. It could also be 30 years. But if it is done properly, the way we have been trained to do, it should take care of all the problems present as well as the possible future problems of any settlement, any city, or any region. It should, if planning is done properly. Unfortunate thing is, there has not been much of planning by government agencies and planning agencies, government established planning agencies in the last 20 to 25 years. It has been mainly outsourced. Government itself is engaging consultant outside. They have the government planning department, development authorities. They are not doing any planning now. Everybody has stopped doing. They are consulting, including foreign agencies, consultants, private architects and developers and planners. They are actually not very well equipped to do it. And I don't know why government took this turn. Earlier, the planning was done as a government activity. There was done town planning department, government state town planning department. In addition to that, every city had, even now, they have development authority, like Dehradun Development Authority, Dehradun Masuri Development Authority, and Haridwar Roorkee Development Authority. But it exists only in name.
Places like Tirupati in India, where 80,000 people a day gets darshan, and
They're streamlined.
what
The
are they
management
doing?
is another thing.
Yeah, what are they doing better than us?
Tirupati is, and of course, there are many things. It's what you call one of the best managed temples there. Tirupati is kind of open 365 days. No, this is 24 by 7, more or less. It is closed for short durations, but it is open like that. This Char Dham is not like that. It is open only for 6 months, not like that. During this peak season, there were 55 days when Kedarnath did not have even a visitor because nobody could come. Landslides were there, flash floods were there, traffic jam was there, nobody was able to come.
Yeah.
On the other hand, on the opening day, you get some 30,000 people. And on a particular day, 25,000 people, like that. When you can't manage that 25,000 people, you can't, the space is not there.
Yeah.
And limited puja schedule is there. So you can't, nobody will get a proper darshan. Nobody will get a proper darshan of that. Even considering that, Tirupati is not like that. They have kind of, because of they have streamlined it, you can book your darshan in advance. In advance means even 2 years, 5 years in advance, you can do certain pujas, you can book all these things in advance. There are different rates, different times. And then you go. And you wait for 1 hour, 2 hours, you will definitely get a darshan. But there also, the darshan is only for a second or two.
I see.
But if you are ready to, because it's money, if you are ready to go for special seva or puja, then spend tens of thousands of rupees, and then you may get 5 minutes, 10 minutes,
And
15 minutes.
what about the shrines like Makkah? What are they doing? Because they are catering lakhs of people.
Okay, there also, it's all crowded. If you the thing is, they move in the crowd. Nobody gets to have a few seconds you get. You are constantly on the move. In that, what is going around the shrine and doing that, you get a second or two. That's it. They're happy with it. I don't know how could anyone be happy with that.
So the case is same whether it's in India or whether it's outside India.
Yeah, in India, but I don't understand in today's situation, today's context of technological development, you don't have to really make yourself suffer so much to have a darshan like that.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we believe in our thing. You don't have to really go there. God exists everywhere. You have this Kedarnath image there in your house, in your own temple.
But I'm sorry to say this, but people are not going for the faith. People are going for the sake of their holidays. The essence of spirituality is missing nowadays in the tourists.
If they are going for fun, leisure, and they should be visiting this Char Dham at all. That is not the place to have fun or to enjoy a vacation there. It's not that. Because it is supposed to be, that is not the intent. Earlier, it was considered yatra. Yatra was essentially on foot. You have to, it's like a penance. You go there and on foot, and then you have your darshan, proper darshan, come back on foot. It's like that. People used to go on foot to Kashi. People used to go there, to Char Dham on foot, like that. That was the time like that. It's a penance. That's why it's called the yatra. It's not called, it's kind of a...
Cities like Barcelona or any other city which are planned around 100, 200 years before, they're still doing very good in Europe and other part of the countries. But why are we not learning, or we are not upgrading our system? Is it the same across India?
Unfortunately, it's a population. We when cities were livable, and you are still young, but I can say in my time, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, things were much better. But of course, we didn't have computer, we didn't have social media, we didn't have internet, we didn't have any of the other modern comfort.
Any distractions.
But still, life was much more, but it was easier, more comfortable, very leisurely. We could enjoy life.
Because Noida is also planned and other part of the country are also planned. But why Chandigarh comes on top?
Because Chandigarh was planned by better set of people, I'd say. More visionary thinking over there. A visionary approach was there. It was planned on a kind of more workability. See, the essence of Chandigarh is the neighborhood concept. Each sector is supposed to be, it consists of, it's self-contained. Each sector is self-contained. And within the sector, you have got school, open spaces, parks, marketplace, and housing around that. So you can walk to all these places. And everything was very orderly. Everything was planned to the last detail. And then sector-wise like that, and then for the city level, you've got a larger park, larger recreational areas, and within the sector, within your neighborhood, you've got smaller recreational spaces, smaller gardens, or some kind of open spaces, and then at the sector level, bigger. So the hierarchy was established. Everything was planned to the last detail, and it was also followed up in implementation.
Exactly my point. Planned and implemented both. Yeah.
And this control, it requires a lot of control. So in fact, when coming to, you talk about traffic. Yeah. Traffic also requires regulation, monitoring, control. That is not there at all. First of all, we ourselves, we don't have any traffic sense.
Yeah.
We don't follow any of the rules.
Absolutely.
So when we take our vehicle on the road, we think that the whole road is ours. We don't care for what you are supposed to be doing and shouldn't be doing on the road. That's why. And there is nobody to control that. If you go wrong also, there has to be somebody there immediately to say that you have done wrong, so you are punished. Like that. That is not there.
Okay.
All these traffic jams are also on account of that.
Coming to Greater Noida extension, because you have planned it, I want to know what were the challenges and how did it go for you?
You know something, before talking about it, Greater Noida extension, ultimately it didn't take off. Why it didn't take off is because when Greater Noida extension was planned, Greater Noida itself was in a developing stage. It was having kind of problems of growth.
Still expanding.
Still, no, it was struggling. It was struggling to grow. So when you're having that initial growing problems, why do you think of something which is extension? First of all, you grow properly. There is so much of open space and undeveloped areas within yourself. First you develop that, then you think of the other thing. So it was not actually required, and it's good that it didn't happen. Whole extension didn't happen the way.
Yeah.
See, both Noida and Greater Noida more. The problem is one of very, what you call, low density development. Low density sprawl development. That means they occupy, as a town extension, they occupy large area. But the population that you put is not much. It is very low. Okay. So they didn't believe it. No, we have got multi-storied buildings. So what? Multi-storied buildings, but outside when you come, there is nothing to serve them. There is no bus stop, there is no bus service, there is no shop, there is nothing. No, there's no school, no playground, nothing.
Just workspaces and residential spaces.
Only residential spaces, and then another residential area occurs here on here. Some market is there somewhere here. It's all apparently it's unconnected. No,
But a lot of people who live in Greater Noida Extension, they are very happy with it because they think that industrial area and the companies are on the one side and the residential area on the one side.
No. That is after it started 40 years ago. So it has taken 40 years to grow like that to this. It can even get packed more compact even now without even expanding. It can. So it has so much of scope within it. When you see, Delhi is considered, there are places in New Delhi area, there's a lot of gardens are there, greenery is there, open spaces are there. But in comparison with Noida, Delhi's density is 3 times.
Yeah.
And in comparison with Noida, Greater Noida is in comparison with Greater Noida, Noida's density is 3 times. So Greater Noida's density, they were talking about something like 35-40 people per acre or 100 people per hectare or less than that. 45 people per hectare. Very low. When I don't remember exactly. Very low density, disjointed growth. It was not compact. Ultimately, so I said, your objective should be in any growth, it should be first of all essential services should be available within walking distance. Including primary school should be available. Park should be available. Playground should be available within walking distance to your children. And that is one. Second thing is, when you walk, it should not have any conflict with the vehicular traffic. That means you are walking the pedestrian pathways, walkways should not have a conflict with they should not meet a vehicular road.
Highways or traffic restricted roads.
So you should have underpass. You should or you should go over the road or below the road is better that way. So you walk to your school, your playground, park, and your community center, your shopping area, local market. Everything should be within that. Once you have it, that is how it should grow. Yet ultimately, this is when I realized that this is how cities should grow. Its extension should grow. Then I started thinking about it very seriously and working out. And then I came up with an idea of what you call walkable city. Pedestrian oriented and public transit oriented city, which then I made many versions of it and made the students also work on it, and then I've made models also. We'll talk about it sometime. So it is possible.
But sir, Delhi NCR it involves a lot of heat trap. People don't want to go out and walk because of the summer season, because it has become heat urban island. So how do we introduce walking spaces, and why government do not plan any parks or any leisure activity which is indoor, or I would say half open, half indoors?
Delhi has a lot of gardens, right from Lodi Garden, Budayandi Gardens, and then there's a lot of garden is there. Very few people only make use of the garden. If at all they use it, you find early in the morning for jogging and doing exercise, walking, and both in the morning and the evening. But the gardens can also act. We know that it can be 24-hour period, kind of not 24-hour, night and leave aside, but it can be open throughout the day, and it can be your gymnasium, open gymnasium could be, the gym can be there, playgrounds can be there, toddlers could be there, cycle track could be there, jogging track could be there, your pond can be there, swimming pool can be there. So many things can happen there itself, but we have not looked at it. And you can have your own aquarium, you can have your own what you call aviary, or for a place for birds. You can have a mini botanical garden, nursery, and a mini zoo. Everything can be there for a city. So it becomes a fun place, open learning place for children. But we have not looked at it that way.
I have this question. Noida and Greater Noida में ऐसी बहुत सारी जगह हैं जहाँ पे जो प्लान्ड एरिया है वहां पे लोग लेजर एक्टिविटी के लिए नहीं जाते हैं. यूजुअली इट्स द आउटस्कर्ट्स ऑफ द सिटी या फिर कुछ ऐसे सेक्टर्स होते हैं जहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट के रेगुलेशंस थोड़े कम होते हैं या अंडर डेवलप्ड हैं, सो दैट जिम्स और द रेस्टोरेंट और द इंक्रोचमेंट, स्ट्रीट फूड आई वुड से एंड पब्स, क्लब्स, इनकी परमिशन बहुत आसानी से मिल जाती है और लोग लेजर के लिए इन्हीं जगह जाना पसंद करते हैं. तो गवर्नमेंट, व्हाई डोंट दे प्लान लेजर एक्टिविटीज when they hire urban planners? या स्कोप ऑफ वर्क में नहीं होता है या फिर ये कैसे है?
The thing is, it's all very much within the scope of planners. Planners, actually, cities should be happening that way, should be planned that way, developed that way, but it has not happened actually. Somehow, I told you, no extent. So at the city level, you can have better vacation, leisure, and entertainment, recreation within your city environment if the cities were planned that way. See, ultimately, you don't want to get kind of stranded in a traffic jam for hours together.
And waste your vacation.
And looking for, instead, if you have amusement park, recreational park, water parks, and then botanical gardens, zoological gardens, and flower gardens, active areas, and some kind of rock climbing exercises, outdoor exercise areas, various things, whatever is there, this kind of adventure or thrill can happen at the city level in every city.
I think there is a fundamental problem here because we as an Indians, we want to see everything. We don't know that vacations are to relax, to slow down. We exhaust ourselves in vacations as well.
Even for that, if you plan a city in its entirety, in its completeness, then the city can have all of this. You don't have to go outside the city except to see some geographically important places. Like, I want to see snow there in the mountain when it is snowing there. That's no. You can create artificial snowfall and all that. Artificial, even waves are created. Artificial waves, and this within the city indoor environment also it is created. But there is some phenomenon is there. Waterfall is there, natural waterfall. You go there. So that is something very unique. You go there, spend some time there, like that.
I get your point, definitely.
Otherwise, all those recreation thrills, so-called thrills, you go there and the zip line, that one, slide, everything can happen within the city itself.
True.
You plan. Amusement park is there, water park is there. So in other cities, you've got, in Delhi, I don't know whether you've got any amusement park, recreational park. So like that, you can all create. For example, if you are in Gurgaon, for example, see, these are all the examples of how a city should not be developed at all. These are examples.
Are you saying about Gurgaon?
Also, yes, very much. Only for all people who have gone there, they are only out of compulsion on account of job. Otherwise, there is no reason why people should be thinking about want to live as a place. In life, you should always select your place of stay, where you live, so that you can live for even 30 years, 40 years continuously without any having to regret or think about it, because so very careful selection should be there, which I did. So I wanted to be in a campus. I selected a campus, I am very clear. I have to come for lunch every day. Something like that. Yeah. You have to walk to your work. So it did. And everything should be available. Recreation facilities, everything. And that is campus life. No?
And that's why you choose IIT Roorkee?
Yes, that is why I chose that. After saying, and I wanted to be close to the Himalayas and the Ganga. And through Roorkee, Ganga flows.
Yeah.
Though it's a canal, it's a Ganga flows there through Roorkee. Yes. And the city, if it is planned well, the traffic jam that we are having, it's also up to us. If you want it, we need not be there in the traffic jam. We need not suffer in the traffic jam because we had an option. Why can't we? Because when you look at the Char Dham calendar, only for 2 months, say, out of 180 days, 190 days of your temple is open. Only for 50, 60 days, this crowd is there.
Yeah.
So why do you plan your trip, even if you want to be there? I want to see Badrinath temple like there in front of now.
Because it's this vacation in schools as well.
Right. So vacation school, so now I will come back to that. You have smaller vacation and larger vacation. Summer vacation is there, then there could be some Dashra vacation, some Diwali vacation, and then December vacation. You plan on those, any of those smaller vacation, and knowing the problem, because the media, you come to know of it.
Yeah.
When there is a 20-kilometer long traffic jam on the road in the mountain and people are suffering on account of that, and then there is no food, no water, nothing like that, and you know about it, and why do you take your family there? You don't have to.
Yeah.
You plan it in a different way. Okay, let it be, this season be gone. I will plan it during October, November or something like that, when the crowd is less, when it's there. Or in December, when nobody is there, the roads are there, I want to see, just the temple is still there.
Yeah. Anyway, you're getting 1 second darshan.
Right. So it's not worth.
Yeah. Also, sir, a massive, I think, issue also generates with sewage planning, the drainage planning. So one important question is that why do our drainage systems suffer so badly? Because it chokes during the monsoon, or if any flash flood condition, or in any any condition where we get severe rainfall. So why our sewage system is so bad?
It is badly planned and badly constructed, badly designed. There is absolutely, we are hopeless, something on a broader level. We can say that yes, we are developing, our economy is developing very fast, and we have, our communication systems are very good, and
we have the best talent in the country.
Road transport, physical infrastructure, highways system, okay, very fast developing. That is there. But when it comes to very basic, fundamental, most essential infrastructure, one is water supply. We have failed totally. Second is this drainage. In short, sewage. In short, water management. We have been very bad. We have not done well at all. And there is not even a single example where. All the three, that is drainage, sewerage, and drinking water supply, where all the three are good.
Really? You're saying there is no example?
No, in India. There are, in recent times. Earlier there was.
Yeah.
When, in my boyhood days, Trivandrum was
not even Chandigarh?
Yeah, Chandigarh also has its own problems of what you call during rainy season, stormwater drainage problems could be there. But otherwise, there could be no other problem, I don't think.
What can we do better in planning our water system?
It's a technical problem, not there. Also, resource we have to learn, we have to do a lot of work on. First of all, water resource conservation. How do we conserve our resources, whether it is underground water resources or surface water resource? How do you conserve that? Now we have been kind of degrading it. We have been misusing it, abusing it, and then wasting it. For example, if there is groundwater available there, wherever it was, whichever city was dependent on groundwater, the day we pump up water to the extent that it has now gone down to from when water was available at say 50 feet, 100 feet, 200 feet, 500 feet, now 1,000 feet, it has gone down, not like that.
Ground level.
Why groundwater? Because you have been pumping up water there without replenishing it, recharging it, not like that. So we have not cared for what you call conservation of the water. Water is available as underground water or surface water in tanks and rivers. Rivers we have polluted, and the tanks have dried up, and lakes have dried up, drying up. We have not. In fact, the prediction is that India is having a lot of water problems in spite of instead of having so many rivers and lakes and water bodies that are there, which in very future, very near future, this will
The groundwater will be.
our water situation itself will be
Water scarcity will be there.
water scarcity on one side. At the same time, flooding will be there on as a kind of a contrast, and then they will have a sewage problems and drainage problems will be there, and during rainy season there will be water logging, and so all are, it's part of water management. How do you manage water? That we have not paid any attention because it requires a lot of research, lot of technological development, which have not paid much attention. We have not implemented that.
Also, I would like to ask a few rapid fire questions where you have to answer in limited words.
Yeah.
Which is the one Himalayan town that is doing things right?
Gangtok,
Sikkim.
Sikkim.
What is the one biggest single planning mistake of Uttarakhand?
There has not been any planning there. And to allow the uncontrolled, unguided, unplanned growth of the Tarai region, that is one thing. And to kind of blind tourism development.
Which is your favorite well-planned city in India? You've already told us Chandigarh. Outside India?
Freiburg is a German town.
I see.
It's a completely, it's a public transit oriented and a small town.
One thing tourists should stop immediately.
They should not be tourists. And then what is then you start traveling. Take up the role of a traveler, not a tourist.
स्मार्ट सिटी मिशंस जो अब बहुत ज़्यादा सरफेस में आते हैं, देहरादून स्मार्ट सिटी होगी या फिर फलानी सिटी स्मार्ट सिटी होगी, आर दीज actually working on?
No, smart cities, the government has we have spent so much money on many cities and hardly anything has happened. It is all cosmetic only. Somewhere you put Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. Somewhere you have improved one stretch of road. Somewhere here and there, without making anything significant. Somewhere you introduce some local bus travel or create some small thing, fountain, lighting. This is not. It doesn't become smart. Smart city is only really plan smartly and also make people smart, and then you start doing. Out of your smartness, you do something which will make an impact on the people.
One project in Uttarakhand you would stop today?
There are many things should be stopped here. Lot of all the mega water projects and hurdle projects should be stopped. Mega projects. I was against this TD Dam project.
Were you in the protest as well?
Yes, I was here. I was the only one from IIT.
What is the most underrated solution for mountain traffic?
Walking, trekking.
What is the biggest mistake architects make when designing the hills?
They don't study the terrain. They don't study the climate, the weather, the resources, local resources. They don't study the site properly.
And who is more to blame for urban crisis, politician or the planner?
Politician, of course.
Not the planner?
But the planner is never allowed. It's really in India, all the big and small things, everything is done by politicians here.
What is your one favorite project of yours?
Many of the projects, it comes as an experimentation. Mostly the clients don't allow you to experiment. You get a chance only when the client has given up hope and he says, is there anyone who can help me?
Rescue me.
Yeah. I have had such opportunities where the client has given up and he wants, somehow you do it. I said, I will not take it if it fails. Anyway, I'm not going to do such projects I've got. I will tell you 2, 3. One is in Roorkee cantonment. There was he wanted the officer commanding. So he wanted a kind of a waterfall cascade, fountain, a pool, and and the backdrop of a mountain.
Inside the house?
Inside the officers club.
I see.
Officers club premises, garden, and the area huge. So that the officers, they can see the profile of Panchuli Peak and all that.
Oh.
So and have all that. It is a landscape project, very difficult one, because he wanted a waterfall, for cascading waterfall, fountain, and a pool, and then Panchuli Peak and all that. So I didn't have any experience of that. I am not a that way trained landscape architect, but I did that. I did that, and he didn't have money. When he contacted the landscape architect, they said 45 lakh rupees. That is the fee only. He said he has only 3 lakh rupees he can spare, not from there. The rest is manpower and facilities. I said, yes, that will do. Let's see. So we did that. So that is one very satisfying. It worked very well. I only said, I don't need any fee. He put my name there. So my name is still there.
I see. And what is your dream project? What is you want to do?
I only wanted to have a small township which is completely walkable, bikeable, and totally pedestrian-oriented, child-oriented, and the older people who can walk. Free, you can, blindfolded, you should be able to walk.
Who is the few architects, or who are the people who inspire you to make or to build what you do?
Doshi, B.V. Doshi is there. Christopher Benninger, my teachers, they are there. Right from... and then Laurie Baker. If you've heard of the name Laurie Baker, architect, so these are architects, planners, they are the people. But otherwise in life there are so many people. My school teachers, some of them.
Any building or any project you really admire and you are jealous of the architect? Oh, I would have made this.
Old part of Rajasthan, there are so many parts. Any old city part, it houses good buildings.
Thank you so much, sir. मुझे आपसे बात करके बहुत अच्छा लगा, and it was a pleasure. हमारी audience को भी शायद बहुत मजा आया होगा. आपने बहुत अच्छा एक मैसेज दिया. Don't be a tourist. Be a traveler to understand the culture. और जहाँ भी आप जा रहे हैं वहाँ लोकल लोगों के साथ रहिए और उस कल्चर को जानने की कोशिश कीजिए, और आपके साथ किसी और को डिस्टर्बेंस ना हो इसका भी ध्यान रखिए, क्योंकि जो हिमालयाज है ये सिर्फ टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशन नहीं है, ये एक्चुअली हमारे इंडिया के लिए एक शील्ड है. इट इज ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ अवर कल्चर.
Very well. You summed it up very well. Thank you so much.
Sir.